Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt like something was wrong? Like the air changed, colder, heavier? Like someone or something was watching you? That's how they say it feels when you get close to the Himuro Mansion, a place that isn't supposed to exist. No signs, no roads, just a hidden house deep in the Japanese countryside, where one of the most disturbing rituals in history was carried out to protect the world from evil. But what happens when that ritual fails? They say the Himuro family lived just outside Tokyo, wealthy, respected, private. But they weren't just caretakers of land. They were guardians of something darker. A spiritual gate believed to be a passage between our world and something far worse. For generations, they kept it sealed, with a tradition soaked in silence, secrecy, and blood. The ceremony was called the strangling ritual, and it began the moment a child was born. A girl, chosen, taken from her mother, raised in total isolation. No voices, no faces, no names. She had to stay pure, untouched by the outside world, because her body would one day be used to seal a gateway to hell. On the day of the ritual, sacred ropes were tied to her wrists, ankles, and neck, each rope connected to a team of oxen. And when the signal was given, they pulled. Her body was torn apart. Her blood soaked the ropes, and those ropes were used to seal the gate for another generation. But one time, the ritual failed. She had seen someone, a boy, a stranger. He smiled. Maybe he spoke to her. And in that moment, she felt something. And that was enough. Her purity was broken. The gate stayed open. The Himuro family descended into madness. The head of the house slaughtered everyone inside, trying desperately to contain what had already escaped. Some say the mansion still exists, hidden, behind overgrowth, waiting. Explorers claim they've seen it. Ropes hanging from the ceilings, photographs on the floor, blurred faces, strange shadows. And sometimes they see her, a girl in a white kimono, standing, watching, with ropes still wrapped around her neck. There's no proof the Himuro Mansion ever existed. No address, no record, just whispers and fear. Because sometimes the scariest places aren't the ones we can see on a map. They're the ones that live in stories and wait to be remembered. Have you ever taken a job just to escape? Maybe to travel, start over, or forget something back home? Something that felt exciting at first, but deep down, you knew you were stepping into the unknown? Lucie Blackman was doing just that. A new city, a new life, and the promise of adventure. She was 21 years old, tall, blonde, striking, a former British Airways flight attendant who had the kind of smile that made people feel instantly comfortable. But within 2 months of arriving in Tokyo, Lucie vanished. No warning, no message, just gone. Her phone stopped working. Her apartment was untouched. Her handbag, her passport, everything left behind. And the last person to see her alive? Her best friend. They worked together in Roppongi, a nightlife district in Tokyo known for its upscale clubs and expat scene. Lucie wasn't working in an office. She was working as a hostess. In Japan, hostess doesn't necessarily mean anything sexual. These are women who entertain clients at elite clubs, drinking, talking, flattering. But there's a dark edge to that world, one filled with blurred lines, unspoken rules, and powerful men who expect more than conversation. Lucie told her friend she was going on a drive with a wealthy businessman, a man she called Mr. Kazu. He promised her a phone, maybe some extra cash. It wasn't unusual. Girls got offers like that all the time. But when Lucie didn't come back, panic set in. Her friend contacted police, but what they said chilled her. She's probably just on vacation. A young foreign woman working a gray market job disappears, and they thought it was a misunderstanding. But Lucie's family didn't wait. Her father, Tim Blackman, flew to Japan and launched a one-man campaign to find his daughter. Posters, interviews, he even met with Japanese politicians. He begged the British embassy for help, and slowly, the media caught on. That's when things got strange. An anonymous call came in. The voice said, "Lucie joined a cult. She doesn't want to be found." Another said she'd gone to Mount Fuji for spiritual training. None of it made sense. None of it sounded like Lucie. Weeks turned into months, and behind the scenes, a name started to emerge. Joji Obara. Wealthy, reclusive, owned multiple condos and storage units, and had a disturbing obsession with blonde women. Police found out that Obara had a pattern: invite women out, drug their drinks, then record what he did to them. Hundreds of hours of footage, meticulously documented. When police finally raided one of his seaside properties, a concrete block buried in a shallow grave was discovered. Inside was Lucie's head, hair bleached, teeth removed, encased in cement. Forensic testing confirmed it. Lucie was dead. But here's the part that stings the most. Even with all that evidence, Joji Obara was not convicted of her murder. Why? Because he never confessed. And Japan's legal system often requires a confession to secure a conviction. He was sentenced to life in prison, but only for the rape and death of another woman, Carita Ridgway, an Australian model who died in the same horrific way years before Lucie. It makes you wonder, how many others were there? Lucie's case opened a floodgate. It forced Japan to look at the hostess industry, to acknowledge how vulnerable women, especially foreign women, can be in that world. And yet, there are still gaps. Joji Obara never showed remorse. He still maintains he had nothing to do with it. Lucie's family fought for justice and got a small measure of it. But the damage was irreversible. A young woman full of hope, lured into something she never fully understood. And the terrifying part? It could happen to anyone. You think you're just taking a break from life, a little adventure, a temporary escape. But sometimes you step into the darkness, and it doesn't let you come back.